July 28, 1973.
This is John R. Way down south in Dixie. WLAC Nashville, Tennessee, saying that for the last time.
That's the way a legend hung up his rockin' radio shoes. John R. John Richbourg said goodbye and reflected upon his early recollections of his involvement with show business and radio.
That goes back to the middle 30s in New York City. I got up there when I was just a wee lad of about 17, 18. I had a burning desire to trod the boards, legitimate theater. That was the main drive at that time. That was my reason for going to New York, as a matter of fact. But like so many others, those ambitions and desires fell by the wayside because competition was pretty keen, even at that time. And I'm talking about 1936, 37. I did secure one small part in a Brock Pemberton play. We opened in New Haven. I'll never forget this. One night, raining like hammers of you-know-what. And we closed in New Haven that same night. I mean, never did get to Broadway with it. Well, that was the end of that. Then I began the rounds at the advertising agencies, Blackett, Sample, and Hummer, to mention one of the more prolific at that time. They were turning out a great number of the soap operas, Our Gal Sunday, and many, many others. I happened to get lucky, and I worked in many of those things. Did that for about a year and a half, I guess. It got pretty rough to make a living at that time, and so I got out of it. This was about 1938, I guess, 39. Lose track of time, but I got out of it and went into automobile finance, repossessing cars, that sort of thing. I did that until 1941. I went down to Charleston, spent a vacation, and auditioned just as a lark, more or less, for WTMA, the News and Courier station. Went back home. 2 weeks later, they sent me a telegram, come to work. So I quit my automobile repossessing job and raced down to Charleston. Went to work at WTMA. Worked there for a year and came to WLAC in 1942.
John is probably best known for his long stint at WLAC Nashville.
Hey, John R., what you gonna do? Come on, John R., man, and play with some rhythm and blues.
All right, honey, let's get it on. What do you say? John R. went on south in Dixie, would take that theme all the way out and get this thing started, you know. We got a thing or two to play and say, so stay with me now, huh? How about like so? Roscoe Robinson, one you called, Baby, What You're Doing to Me. He can't figure it out, you see. Yeah, the cat wants to know what you're doing to him there, honey. Take your finger out of the man's eye, because he can't see what's going on. All right, there, that's a good thing. Of course, that's Roscoe Robinson's view, and you know it's hitting and getting too, baby. Let me put a goodie on you right now. I want to tell you about my own little thing here, the John R. album, you know. 20 golden oldies, honey. You can get this album, too, for just $2.98 plus packing and mailing charge. And the album will be sent out to you by mail, postpaid that way. All right? And let me play a thing for you from this album. Now, this is one by Gene Chandler. You remember Rainbow? Gene, I wish you'd come here and do it, man. Now, let me see, on the other turntable, we got Ernie Cato, and this one's gone, man. Later for tomorrow. That's what he's talking about.
John R. expresses his opinion on ratings.
Your ratings, to me, are in many cases fallacious. You can't really depend on them. It's the sales that you actually cause to be made that are the, I think, true yardsticks of radio.
John, as many, has some thoughts on where radio is going.
I think radio is about ready for a turnaround or the beginning of a turnaround. I think people are beginning to really get fed up with the formatted type operation, the stereotype, time, weather, and the temperature sort of a thing, you know, and the real rapid-fire staccato top 40. I believe that's on the way out. I hope it is, anyway. Maybe that's wishful thinking on my part. But I think personality radio is coming back. I think that's the only answer.
And with that, Programmer's Digest and the radio industry says so long to a trooper who's left his mark upon many. He will be sorely missed. And this is the way John R. wrapped up 32 years of broadcasting.
Okay, that's about all the time we have, I guess. We're going to have to cut it off right there. But thank you so much, all you good people, for calling. And I do wish I had more time, but we've got a little news coming up, and then Horse Allen will be in with Buckley's show. In the meantime, friends, God bless you all. You've meant so much to me. All of you, your wonderful mail, and particularly these last few weeks. These last few weeks have been fantastic, and I want you to know that I'm going to answer as much of this mail as I can. It may take 2 or 3 months to do it, but I definitely will do it. Thank you so much. And good night, everybody. God bless you, one and all. Thank you. This is John R. Way down south in Dixie, WLAC, Nashville, Tennessee, saying that for the last time. Good night.